Hey friends, it's me, Patrick God, and yes, you read that right, it's about the .NET 7 preview today. It is out there a couple of weeks ago actually, and I just wanted to have a look, and I thought maybe I can do this together with you. So I did not have a look at all by recording this, but now I did, of course, already recorded the code stuff, now doing this intro here. What we're going to do is implement a .NET 7 Web API, all the CRUD operations, but not with EF Core. Just wanted to make this a quick and dirty tutorial. And what can I say? Is it surprising? Not at all. In essence, it's still the same. And yes, I know I could have told you that later in this video, but well, that's how I roll. So if you're not interested in .NET 7 at all, and now you know that nothing has changed, then you can stop the video and maybe have a look at my .NET 6 video here. But if you still are interested in implementing all the CRUD operations just with a controller in .NET 7, then please keep watching. And if you learned something, I would really appreciate it if you click the like button, maybe even subscribe to my channel. It does make a difference. Thank you so much for that. And don't forget to hit this bell icon here so you get a notification when a new video is online. Also, maybe you wanna check out my newsletter for videos like that, getting them earlier in your inbox. And also, maybe you're interested in the .NET 6 Web Developer Bootcamp that is coming. I don't know when, but it will be coming, where I wanna focus on the stuff, the skills, things you need if you wanna be a good .NET developer. There are some things you should know when you wanna get a job or when you already have a job and you wanna get better in your job as a .NET developer. Full stack, meaning Web API, EF Core, and Blazor, and also other stuff like Scrum, Git, DevOps, all that stuff. It's going to be big, and yeah, no pressure, right? So if you want to get early access to that thing, then maybe consider subscribing to my newsletter. And the last thing, and then I stop talking, thank you so much for all your support, everybody, all the tea and coffee. Helps me staying awake when my little toddler is asleep, and then I can make all these videos and have a look at .NET 7 if I want to. So thank you so much. I will love you forever if you consider supporting me as well. But I still love you, even if you're just watching without any coffee. Thanks a lot for your time. And now enjoy the tutorial. All right, first let's have a look at the Visual Studio installer, because by the time of recording this, you need the preview edition of Visual Studio 2022. As you can see here, I've got the community edition and I've got the version 17.2.0 preview 2.0. I think it also works with preview 1. Not quite sure about that, but well, depending on when you're watching this video, things may have changed. So just make sure to use the preview version, or if .NET 7 already is released, but then I guess you would watch another video, hopefully also by me. But still, let's just launch the Visual Studio Preview Edition now here. And we close all these older projects. Let's create a new project now. And what I want to create is a web API, so we can also filter this by web API, the C# one, please. Hit next. We call this web API .NET 7 preview, long name, but still this should work. And as you can see now, I've got .NET 7 installed. And how you can do this too, well, this is quite simple. Just Google for .NET 7 download, and then you go to download .NET 7, and again, by the time of recording this, you see here .NET 7 preview 2 is available. So please download the right one for your operating system and install it, and you're good to go. Okay, so far everything is the same. We want to use controllers here. I don't want to use a minimal API. I've got videos about that. Please check out the info cards. But here now, I just want to implement all the CRUD operations with the traditional web API with .NET 7. Didn't have any look at all before recording this. So yeah, let's just see. And there it is. All right, let's close this. Don't need that. Okay, so far this looks... .NET MAUI experience, well, I don't want to take the service so far. But I, of course, created .NET MAUI, a .NET MAUI video, maybe also more videos, by now, but there is one. Check out the info card, please. Thanks for that. Okay, so we've got still our program CS with no namespaces whatsoever. We've got our weather forecast model here. This is the typical example, and also the weather forecast controller. Okay, this looks pretty much the same. So I don't know if anything will change at all in this preview version, but let's just start with the model, I'd say. So we create a new folder, call this models, and in here we create a boring contact class, but maybe you should stay with me. I think you might recognize the context I will use here. So we've got an ID first. Although I'm not using entity framework here for this example, still let's use an ID. Maybe we change that in the future. Then let's also, let's make this really simple. Just a name. Name is fine. String empty by default, and also a date time for the birth date. Okay, great. So this is our model, and now we create a new controller. We want an API controller. If you need deeper explanations regarding all this stuff, please check out this info card now for the .NET 6 video of Web API and EF Core. There we are using Entity Framework with the SQL Server, so there's much more detail to that. For this little video here, I just want to say let's use an API controller, an empty API controller with no generated code whatsoever. I think that's the easiest way to learn and also to implement most of the time. And we call this thing contact controller. And as we can see, we still derive from controller base. That's everything we need. Great. We've got our API controller attribute here, and also the route attribute. That's fine. And the first thing I want to add here is a static list of contacts, because we are using no entity framework, no database whatsoever here. So let's make this public. Why not? Contact, we add the namespace. Try to, yep, there it is. All right. And we say these are our contacts, and this is a new list of contacts, and we already add one new contact, and the ID is 1. The name Bruce Wayne, and the birth date. I have to look this up. Okay, according to Google, there it is, April 17th, 1915. Okay, so new date, time, 1915, April 17. Okay, so this is our first contact, and now let's add another one. And ID 2 here, name this time Peter Parker. And what do we get here? Okay, 2001, August 10th. I think this is the one from Homecoming, at least this Spider-Man series, but that's not so important for now, I guess. So we've got our list, and now let's already implement a get method. You see, we don't need any constructor whatsoever. I don't use a service here, just this fed controller. I know this is not the best way to do this. We use way better ways in other videos, and of course also in my courses, for instance, the Blazor e-commerce course, where you have the backend part of the .NET 6 web API with EF Core and SQL Server, and the frontend part with Blazor. Or just subscribe for my newsletter to get early access to the upcoming .NET 6 Web Developer Bootcamp. This one will be big. Little commercial here. Thanks for staying with me. Okay, now the get method, HTTP get public async task. We return an action result with a list of contacts. Get all contacts. And here now we want to return OK. And then just our contacts, and that's already it. Don't know why I'm using an async one, because we're not using EF core. But anyways, why not? We can do that. Or, no, seriously, let's just remove this. We just return an action result with a list of contacts. And then let's start this already and have a look. Nothing to register here in the program CS, because we're not using any kind of service or anything. It's important that we see the map controllers function here, also here add controllers. And I already got it on my other screen, and this looks pretty straightforward. We've got our weather forecast schema, of course, from the example. Contact is here, and this is something we expect. So let's try this one out, hit execute, and there it is. All right, nothing too fancy, and it still works. Okay, this is nice. So these are all the contacts. Now let's get a single one. Also get, but with a route. Again, I'm kind of rushing through this here because I really just want to try this out with .NET 7 and see if there is anything surprising so far, at least. Let's call this get contacts with an ID. And now let's say var contact is, let's just say contacts find exactly. If our contact is null, we return a not found. Nope. Otherwise, we return our contact. Save everything. And is it restarting? Nope. Restart application. There it is. API contact. And now let's enter 1. We get Bruce Wayne. 2. Peter Parker. 3. Nope. Great. 404 not found. This works. Alright. Alright. Really simple so far. So now let's create one, I'd say. So HTTP posts for creating a new contact. Let's return the list again so we see all our contacts. Create contact it is. Contacts. Contacts. And here now we say contacts at our new contact here, and then we return our contacts list. Where up? Uppercase C. All right. But we have to restart this thing. Okay, and I just saw hot reload on file save is not activated. Maybe I should do this. But it succeeded. We've got our post. And let's create a new one. ID would be 3 then. The name, Tony Stark. And this would be 1970. And then May 29th, I think. Yep, that's what Google is telling me. Hit execute. And there he is, Tony Stark. Works like a charm. Can we get Tony Stark here as well? Yep. Great. Okay, post. Check. Alright, now put. We want to update the character. Now, here, as always, we can choose to add the ID here as an argument, or we just use this object here. And since I'm lazy now, let's just use the object. So update contact, no parameter here. You could use a parameter for the ID, so you would use this parameter then, or this argument, to find the contact. But let's use the ID of this contact object now. Tell me in the comments what's better, what you think is better, or a better practice. Argument or no argument. Please tell me that. And of course, I know you, maybe if you want to use an ID for an argument or an argument for the ID, and then you would additionally use a DTO for the updates object. So an update contact DTO, maybe something like that. Anyways, we try to find this one first. So copy paste it. That's great, right? And here, this would be then the contact ID. And with that, let's say updated contact here. And uppercase I, of course. So this is our contact now. And then we say contact name is updated contact name, contact birth date, updated contact birth date, and we return our contacts. Okay, let's save this one. Is it rebuilding? Yep, now this works. Great. So make sure, I hope this was this menu entry here. Make sure to add the check mark here, select hot reload on file save. And then it's rebuilding if you got a so-called root edit. So we're really mean developers here. And now let's see. Let's get everybody first. So we hit execute and we've got Peter Parker here. And now let's say we want to add the middle name of Peter Parker, which is, I think, Benjamin. Yes, just checked it. It's Benjamin, so hit execute. And something's wrong here. ID2, name is Peter Benjamin Parker. Birth date, what does it say? One or more validation errors. Updated contact field is required. What the heck? So we've got the updated contacts. Contact name. Still not sure what the problem here is. We've got the ID, we've got the name. Execute. Was it the comma? Yes, it was the comma. Okay. All right, so now we've got Peter Benjamin Parker. Isn't that nice? So now let's double check when we get all our contacts. There he is. Great. So this works really like a charm. Make sure to remove the comma if you have it here. But yes, it makes sense, of course. And now already the last one. So this is really a quick video. HTTP delete. Let me copy this. We return the complete list again. Let's call this delete contacts. Now in here we want an ID again. So we have to add a route with ID. And now here again, we're using this ID here. And then we say contacts, remove contact, save it. We've got our delete already. So hot reload at its best, or the rebuilding. And let's say, oh wait, let's get all our contacts first to try this one out. Hit execute. Tony Stark is the one we removed, so we added. So let's remove this one again. ID3, execute. Tony Stark is gone. And just double check. Hit execute here again. And we got only these two. And when we now try to delete it, Nope, this is not working. Okay, now this was really fast, was not expecting this, but what I can say is everything is still the same, right? So here's the complete code. We've got get all contacts, get a single one, create one, update one, delete one. And now let me push this to GitHub so that you get the code. And if you have questions about that, in particular regarding Entity Framework, maybe because one thing I saw, let me just pull this one up. Yep, that's the one here. February 17th, it says EF7 currently targets .NET 6. This will likely be updated to .NET 7. Now, also important to mention here, EF7 is the successor to EF Core 6, not to be confused with EF6. So you really have to pay attention regarding this core term, I guess. But the important part is this thing here. EF7 currently targets .NET 6. Now, I haven't tried it. I don't know if we can use EF Core 7, the preview version, with also .NET 6, .NET 7. Sorry, so EF Core 7 with .NET 7, does this work now? All the preview editions together, not sure about that. If you know more about that, please tell me that in the comments. And if you want to see me creating another video about that stuff, meaning Entity Framework Core 7, then please tell me that in the comments as well. But for now, it's good to know that the web API doesn't change at all in essence. So we can, although it's pretty early for .NET 7 preview, I think we can be sure that everything will stay the same regarding the web API at least. Yep, there you have it. That's it. This was the .NET 7 preview to web API. Nothing has changed at all, so we can chill actually. So I think that not much will change in the future. Everything is fine, just keep implementing .NET 6 stuff. But still, if you want me to cover Entity Framework Core 7, or then it's called EF7, Entity Framework 7, so no core term anymore, then yeah, please write it down in the comments, and then I do my best to make a new video with Entity Framework 7 then, but still targeting .NET 6. Okay, now it's really getting complicated, so anyways, if you have any request, any wish, then please write it down in the comments. And if you like this video, then please consider giving me a thumbs up, maybe consider subscribing to my channel, and consider clicking this bell icon here to get a notification for new videos. Thanks a lot for that. Don't forget the newsletter for the upcoming .NET 6 Web Developer Bootcamp and getting these videos here earlier in your inbox. But if you're still watching, maybe you already are subscribed, so thanks a lot. Also, to everybody, thank you so much. Cheers for all the coffee and the tea. Really helps. That's amazing, guys. Really, I love you forever. And if you still want to watch some .NET stuff, some Blazor stuff, then please check out the videos here on the site. Maybe you're interested in the .NET 6 Web API with EF Core and SQL Server, then check this video out, or Blazor or anything else, then check out my channel. Thanks a lot for that. And now I can only say thank you very much for your time. Thanks for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Take care.